dogs. This is absolutely dangerous and it has to stop. If there's anyone in here, if you see an ATV in someone's backyard, don't confront them. Simply call 727-9099, report it immediately. And this is such an urgent issue that MPD is now issuing $250.
What's that number again?
202-727, it's the tips line, 9099. Get your $250, please. We need these people off of the streets and off of the roadways before they kill someone.
Any more questions for the officer? Question?
Yeah, about the ATV, which he was just expressing, and what the lady was expressing earlier about the youth in our neighborhoods. A lot of that is spilled over from New York Avenue, where all the shelters and halfway houses and the shelters that they have back there in those hotels. A lot of those individuals that you call unattended children and youth are out there panhandling and begging up and down Starbucks to the KFCs and all the restaurants. A lot of that activity is based on, I think the council member, he needs to come over here and attend to that.
Amen.
A lot of time, because he's not, you officers are doing your job, because you're posted up in places now that a lot of areas that used to be problems, your hard problems, but you can't solve that prostitution problem, because that's a lot deeper, because you gotta deal with gender and transgender issues out there too. So that's not just regular prostitution out there.
Right, sir, but the prostitution is a crime matter.
Yeah, but it's not regular prostitution that you can just load them up and parade them to the bridge like they used to.
Right, oh, we can't do that
parade
at all.
them to the bridge. They can't. That's why they can't parade them to the bridge, because it's a gender matter out there. But what I'm saying, you have a lot that I think the mayor and the councilman needs to come to these areas, because I didn't know Ivy City was changed. I thought it was still 505. Now that I'm glad I'm here to find that out. But a lot of that is based on, you have those young kids that come out of those halfway houses or shelters. I'm not gonna say halfway houses, or the youth services that are out there that are expressing their bipolar and all that, the bipolarism, and that's a big factor around here in this community.
Okay, let me just say, some of the, what we're hearing is community concerns. I think there's one question, any specific concerns for the officer, and also remember that he's the officer. He patrols the beat. He is not a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain. He's not the chief. So where your concerns are, I'm not saying your concerns are valid, but they should be directed to higher up into the police. And the Metropolitan Police has a meeting. I checked to see when the meeting is. The Metropolitan Police, when they have the meeting here for the 5th District, even to come to that meeting so you can express more. He's here to give statistics and to give a little insight on how he does his job and how he's helping us. And
well, that's why you should have somebody there for higher authority than him as the officer.
Well, we just asked. I just asked for a PSA report. That's what I asked for. That's what we've been asking for. So I hear what you're saying. So maybe you're right. Maybe we need to even move to get more time and ask for, because I do my email is to Commander Fitzgerald to ask that representation of all the captains that are here. That's why I sent my email to ask for these reports. But I hear what you're saying, and I'm hearing it also what you're saying. I'm hearing what you're saying, that it should be addressed in a different way. I think we have one more question back there.
You got a whole lot of public safety issues.
I'm not denying
it's down in certain areas, but it's up in other places, because you got also in my neighborhood, you got, I hate to say that, you got people that are metro bus drivers that's out here shooting firecrackers late at night, and I asked them to stop, but they want to curse me out and threaten me about it, and they destroying public property, because when they set one of the buildings of somebody's car or something on fire, then they're gonna run in the house and say, oh, the kids, it's not those kids out there that you shoot firecrackers. at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, but I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying is, it's all valid, but it's community concerns. We've got an opportunity on the agenda for that. Do you have a
Don't worry,
question?
I got you.
For a question for the police
Thank
officer?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
One, there is a gay male sex club over here on Wheeler area. And it's right behind that, I don't know, gas station.
The Shell.
It's called Glorious Health Club.
That's not
And I wanted to know what you guys, since it's been here for a while, and I've been trying to talk to people about it. That traffic spills over into our community, the Trinidad area. And I don't know, what you guys plan on doing about that?
Which traffic is that, ma'am?
or I will.
That Glorious Health Club right there.
Yeah, he can-
Okay.
Behind the Shell gas station.
Okay. Can, any more, I'm gonna let your commissioner address that. Any questions for the officers so we can let him get back to work?
What types of questions would you, because I have the ATV question, I guess the officer will, okay.
Well, what's your ATV question for the officer?
Well, it seems like the kids want to ride these ATVs. Why don't y'all set up some type of park or something instead of just trying to lock them up and arrest them? Why don't you set up something to help assist them and to try to have that type of park?
I
Because
sort
they're
of,
out on the street and one is doing, so instead of arresting our young people, why don't we just send them one of these, send them some type of location where they can have that type of fun?
well, you know, what they're talking about, what Commissioner Innocent is talking about, these are adults, these aren't children.
Well,
They're not-
there's a problem with children and adults.
But it's
And
more, let me
I
finish my statement.
appreciate your
Can I finish my
compassion.
statement? Can I finish my statement?
Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm saying, so these are adults, and fortunately, that we get the rampant ATV drivers down Florida Avenue. I haven't heard them on Trinidad Avenue, it was wide open. I don't know if anybody's heard them in Ivy City. I haven't been, most like I say in our neighborhood, it's young people, it's children. They're riding the scooters, and I'll agree with you in that. The thing is, it is a safety issue though, because last year a young man got hit on Trinidad Avenue.
Yeah, because there's nothing, I mean, I understand.
No, because he was going the wrong way, speeding on Trinidad Avenue, and he got hit. So that's, I mean, so even if he was to follow the
So if you make
rules,
it legal, then you put up some type of, somewhere where they can do it, you give them some type of rules and regulations, some type of instructions, so that stuff does not happen.
If I may respond,
You guys change
if I may respond,
Skate park, you could skateboard illegal, you could do a whole lot of stuff illegal, you could ride a bike
good,
illegal.
good comment.
You could do a whole lot of
if I
stuff.
may respond, ma'am, first of all, let me acknowledge you for your kindness and compassion for wanting to, bring this issue in. However, the government has no responsibility to accommodate unlawful behavior. It is unlawful behavior. These individuals are riding the wrong way these are basic rules of the road. They have no regard for that. Now, for you to say that we should find a way to address that, that is not the government's responsibility. The government's responsibility is to protect citizens from crime and the fear of crime by having a well-managed, well-organized police department. MPD is doing that. We can't set aside land that we don't have to accommodate lawbreakers.
Okay, so back to Glorious, Club. The issue with that, it has been an issue, I've been in the neighborhood 6 years. It's been here since I've been here. The issue is we cannot legally prove that they are a strip club. It's something we would like to have shut down, but they're considered an art gallery. As a woman, I cannot get inside of it. I don't even know how to penetrate, or even for the officers to be able to go in there and investigate. I'm aware. Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't have did that.
I actually used that word.
For the officer,
I just wanted to find out about, like, what's the legality of people setting up tents to camp in the park inside Ivy City?
I didn't say the tent itself is, no, like I mentioned about the lawn chairs and the grills and everything. I didn't mention the park, but I was asking the officer, what can they do about it? And
Because there were two people, camping there in
Yes,
tents up until
Yeah,
today,
there are
we saw
tents
that
there
they
now.
left, but, I just wanted to find out, is it illegal for them to do it? Because we reached out to the police station, and I'm not sure if they're the ones that went there and asked them to leave, but when we drove past today, they were gone, but it looked like one guy was setting up a new tent.
It's kind of yes and no. Though it's not by letter of law, not necessarily, but the way the city has been doing it in the past is homeless individuals have been allowed to camp out.
You're not.
Are they homeless individuals or are they just?
I haven't gone
I
and
don't
asked
know
them.
with the, I don't know about the tent per se, if they're homeless or not, but we just have a lot of people on public space doing inappropriate things, and the office, typically there's a car that is near that park, but it's as if the officers see it, but don't do anything about it.
Well,
So,
with parks, it's a little bit different. Once they close after dusk, it's a whole separate issue. Pretty much being in there is not necessarily legal.
The tent was there for
they,
over a week.
Right, so-
The same place.
Right, which is again, I don't know how long you've been there, but there also used to be tents right here in New York, Montana for quite some time until the city finally moved them. So, it's not necessarily legal per se by the letter, but the city has been like, I don't know if these are homeless individuals, just individuals
see,
who are
the
deciding
big
to
issue
camp.
is we're getting too much pushback when we're telling you that we have issues such as this. Like you told me, I can't get the people to move with the chairs. It's like, when are the officers actually going to listen to the residents and do something about it? We don't want them in the park. We don't want them on the sidewalks. Like, you can't walk, you can't really
Yeah, it's
enjoy the
promoting
public
that.
space.
We understand that, but there are a lot, and promoting to an extent, yes, no, but if it's in the park, it's a little bit different.
So if they're in
Are you
the
saying
They
park,
they're-
also
are you
gave me
saying
the
they're in
same
the park?
response when I said the sidewalk, so.
No, that was in relation to the drug question, man.
Well, I can
As far as
tell you
the rest
that
of them.
we don't tolerate it. We've had people in my community, 5D05, formerly 5B10, that set up, their encampments on the sidewalk, including relieving themselves on the sidewalk. We didn't tolerate that. We have people that pitch tents, on the sidewalk near the Nectar Mall. We don't tolerate that. And we move them along elsewhere. They can't incommode and block the sidewalk. And certainly, I know that the officer, Spike, tell me your name again. I know
The partnership.
the partnership. He's a 507 officer. I see him out there whenever he's working hard. Our officers are addressing that. This is a problem throughout our community, and it needs to be equally addressed, with our law enforcement personnel. Because we can't have people just setting up encampments and eroding, lawful passage of the sidewalks. Someone who's out there defecating on the sidewalk and then telling me to go back to Africa when I told her that she couldn't, defecate on our sidewalks, that type of thing. And one of them said, yeah, who are you? Why are you biting the people? Are you biting the people? Well, people can't sit up late and sleep on the sidewalk. They can't set up tents. That's unlawful behavior. And I would urge you to continue to complain about it. And every PSA has a PSA meeting. Ours are well attended. Please go to your PSA meetings and raise these issues with your PSA lieutenant. They're all led by a PSA lieutenant, and raise the issues. Your lieutenant is Lieutenant Gray. You have a couple of others. Tell them you don't want encampments blocking your sidewalks.
okay, but what's the best recourse to take if I do see it happening again? Do I phone, not
Call us.
911? Do I phone
Yes.
911?
911, yes, sir. We don't have a non-emergency number in DC, it's all 911.
Yes.
So any concerns there, we need police, ambulance, any services, we need 911.
And not 311?
No.
No.
This one.
That's the mayor's call center for city services.
But the sad part is when you call 911, it still stays. That's the big issue. It's like we're not getting the officer to come out and address what we're stating is the problem. That's where the big disconnect is. So what Commissioner Henderson said might make most sense is to go to the PSA meeting. Now that we know we're in 506,
When is the PSA meeting?
I'm not sure.
Could not
Can you
tell.
give the listserv address? I urge everyone to subscribe to the MPD listserv. All of the PSA meetings are listed on the listserv. It's PSA 501 through 507, and they're held each month at the same time and generally in the same location.
You had a question, sir?
Yeah, I hate to go back to the ATV issue, but I just had a question for the officer generally about, I've read in the past and I wanna know if it's true. You know, in the past, I've seen that the police have the policy too, that if you see an ATV, call them. You get rewarded if they get caught, or